my darlings. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You've got Daniela here as always, and I would love to welcome you to another installment of #Wisdom Wednesdays. Hey y'all, how's it going? It has been an absolutely crazy week for me. I know that there's been a lot of energetics going on. Last night on the 2nd, we had our full moon eclipse. I think that was the full moon eclipse. Or if it was the new moon eclipse. We've got like two moons, 2 eclipses. Holy shit, this is like a crazy month. So strap in, you guys. Grab your chocolate, strap in, whatever you need, and don't let that retrograde get you down. So, speaking of which, kind of, sort of, tonight is going to be a fun topic. It is one that affects everybody, and nobody knows it. It's wild. Is it affecting you? I'm willing to bet that it is. I'd love to hear in the comments below as you resonate and you hear yourself in maybe some of these stories, and I would love to hear from you guys on this topic. So, tonight is the Nocebo Effect, right? So I'm sure many of you have heard of the placebo effect, but have you heard of the Nocebo Effect? The placebo effect, for those of you who may not be familiar, is the medical phenomena, and I say phenomena loosely, because other parts of medical science have actually proven this in many various and sundry of forms. But this is the placebo effect, for those of you who don't know, is the medical phenomena that the brain basically convinces you that you're getting the medicine, so you get better, even if you're getting sugar pills. Now, this is actually a pretty fun story. It came from a physician about a few hundred years ago, and this gentleman, he was giving out medicine, pills and things and stuff of, ground up herbs and all of that, mashed into pill form. And so one day he ran out of supplies. Uh-oh. And so instead of shutting his whole business down, he decided that until he could get some more supplies, that he would just kind of give people these sugar pills. He just made them out of whatever he had on hand. Obviously, that wasn't poisonous. And he handed them out to his patients, only to realize that his patients were still getting better. What? So after some more exhaustive testing, he realized that indeed 60, and this has been proven now in modern medical science to be 60 to 80% as effective, if not more so, than the actual drug itself. And he found something very similar as well about 200-300 years ago. Can you guys believe that? It's a thing. So what is actually happening? What is actually happening is that you are receiving a sugar pill, which you believe is medicine. Because of your belief that it is medicine, you believe you will get better. That is the placebo effect. The placebo effect is so powerful, in fact, that, like I said, medical science, modern medical science, has proven over and over and over and over again that the placebo, aka the sugar pill, is 60 to 80% as good, if not better, as far as the response that clients get from taking the placebo versus the actual drug. Let that sink in. Our brain, our mind, is 60 to 80% as or more effective than the drug. And people wonder why pharmaceuticals have such a hard time passing everything by FDA. They can't get around the placebo. That's literally why they can't get around the placebo, is why they have such a hard time putting out drugs. And thank God, or else we'd be flooded with even more. So, that is the placebo. We understand that? The nocebo is actually the exact opposite, more or less. The nocebo effect is something that you are probably doing to yourself, that everyone does to themselves, day in and day out, and have no idea. So if you can, through positive belief, believe that you can heal yourself, or that something is healing you, therefore you will get better. In the same token, on the opposite hand, you can also negatively believe about your health, your success, your stability, your any of these things. Sorry, my nose is like super itchy tonight, you guys. It's like, it's like I don't know if somebody's interfering with me. It's like I feel like a cat. So, so same thing on the other token, is that you can believe negative things about your health, about yourself, about your abilities. And that could just be any kind of ability, whether it be your speaking ability, whether it be your management ability, your artistic ability, singing ability, whatever. You can believe negative things about yourself, and your body will believe it. Think about that. Think about how often you run into somebody. Here, I'm going to give you a great example. I run into this practically every day. You run into somebody and you say, "Hey, oh my God, so-and-so, how are you doing?" And this is what you get back. You could probably sing it along with me, because some of you probably know this song way too well. "Well, you know, I'm just constantly in pain, and I just can't seem to get over this, or I just can't seem to get over this cold, or I'm just always so sick, or I'm always in so much pain, or I'm this, or I'm that." And I am kind of dramatizing just a little bit, but those of you who are around people that identify with their sickness a lot, which is where this is actually ties back into last week's talk, which was a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, so thank y'all for hanging on with me for that one. I swear to God, I was getting some interference on that one. I felt so cloudy, foggy-headed. It was nuts. So anyway, this is where that ties back into why you don't want to identify in this way with your illness. So if anyone knows that sounds like that, hopefully that's not you, but if it is, that's okay, in the sense that at any time you can change it. So if we have a placebo effect and we have a nocebo effect, which is the positive belief that you can heal, or the positive belief that you are receiving medicine that you can heal, and the negative version of that, which is usually what we're feeding ourselves constantly, more or less, right? That's all that negative self-talk, that's all that trash we talk about ourselves, to ourselves, about how shitty we are, and how shitty of a job we're doing, and how we're not doing enough, and that we're not enough, and yada yada yada. That's the nocebo effect. We are noceboing ourselves. Can you believe that? So this is why it is so important to not identify with your illness in that way. Because you are literally writing the pathways of your brain neurons to create the roadmap, a more, I wouldn't say permanent roadmap, but a really hard-worn roadmap. So I'm going to share something really, really wild and interesting with you guys. And this is something I work on people with every single day. So if this is something that really piques your interest, shoot me a message. Get on my calendar. By the way, I'm not sure how many of you are aware or remember, but everybody in this group is entitled to a free session with me. Absolutely free, no sales call gimmicky nastiness. I'm actually serving you, actually giving you tools, actually working with you, actually listening to your stuff, and deep diving. So if this is clicking in for you, come hit me up, because this is my bread and butter. This is what I love to do, is help people rewrite their brain pathways, amongst other things. So what happens in the brain? I'm going to give you guys a really big secret. Okay. There is this thing called neuroplasticity. If you're not familiar with it, it's fucking amazing. Pardon the French. Not so much. It's fucking amazing. Neuroplasticity tells us that the brain is no longer a static, immovable, it's only made so much gray matter, it's only made so many cells, and that's it. Neuroplasticity tells us that the brain can learn, can heal, and can regrow connections. Why is that important? Because as you're going through life, and you are grinding these pathways of I'm not good enough, of I fear this, of I fear judgment, of this, of blah, right? We carve these in to our neural pathways by repeating them, over and over and over. Imagine it is a trail that a wagon has gone down about 1,000,000 times. At first, the dirt path is pretty flat, and you never know, what's been down it. But after the bajillionth time that that same wagon has come down that path, what has it done? It's worn streaks down into the road. Pretty deep ones at that. That's more or less a layman's version of what's happening in our brain. So as we go through and we tell ourselves all these nocebo type things, all these negative self-talk type things, we are ingraining in our brain, in our neurons, a pathway. What does our brain do? Anytime it comes up against anything new or unknown or this or whatever, it goes to the easiest pathway possible. So if you come up against a little bit of resistance and your neural easiest, biggest, thickest neural highway is I'm shitty and not good enough, you're going to back down from whatever that new thing is. But if you go through the process of retraining your brain pathways, which is something I do, if you go through this process slowly but surely, sometimes not so slowly, but definitely surely, regardless, your brain will default to the new pathway. The more you use that new pathway, the stronger that pathway will get. And the more it will forget to use that old pathway that made you feel like crap, and the more it will use the new pathway that's empowering. That's the one that we can reprogram in. That's why affirmations and positive self-talk work. One of the main reasons why affirmations and positive self-talk work. Because as you repeat, you are literally reformulating neural pathways in your brain by doing so. And the more you use them, the more you repeat, the stronger that pathway gets. The more deep into the road those wheels go, the more ground in that path gets. And what happens? Our brain uses the easiest pathway. It's going to default to the positive one. It's going to default to the placebo that we've created, as opposed to the nocebo that was put in there by probably very well-meaning parents and family and friends. Bless their heart, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. None of them. That's not to say don't respect your elders, because there's a lot of wisdom and nuggets. But so much of what we've been taught was just passed down to them. So they don't know any different. They literally don't know what they don't know. You now know that you have the power to rewrite so much of that negative self-talk, all that negative nocebo nastiness, into stuff that's going to be healthy for you, stuff that's going to support you, that's going to empower you. And that is the placebo and the nocebo effect. If you recognize yourself as one of those people that really latches on to that story and you're ready to give it up, come and contact me. This is what it's all about. It's about rewriting those pathways. It's about teaching yourself something different. Science has proven that it is 1,000,000% possible. Not just 100%. It's 1,000,000% possible. And the only reason you don't believe so, possibly, is because that's what's been repeated to you. That the brain is unchangeable, that it can't grow, that once it's done, it's done. If it's damaged, and there's not shit you can do about it. All of that has now been proven 100% false. That is now a myth. That the brain cannot learn or regrow is a myth. So if you're finding yourself as you go through your day full of nocebos, Think about whether or not you're ready to let some of those nocebos go. How often do you want to keep treading that path? If you're noticing that you're having those knee-jerk reactions, if you're noticing that something comes up and you have that reaction, notice it and bring it to us. Bring it to the table. Come get that rewritten. Because it's all worth it and it's all entirely doable. So check it before you wreck it. Are you placeboing yourself or are you noceboing yourself? Alright, my loves. That's going to be a nice little quick one for us tonight. If you if you didn't catch the whole thing, go on back and catch the whole thing, hashtag replay, all of that stuff. I would love to hear your comments and your thoughts about this and where you may resonate with it. If you are looking for that kind of support, that's where I come in. Come and hit me up and let me know. Alright, my loves, so there are a couple of things that I want to make sure to share with you, is that I've got summer pricing going on my tarot reads, and you can go and find that at redesignyourlifeforever.com. I've also got introductory pricing coming up because I am about to get my Reiki certification. Very exciting. It's a discipline that I've always wanted to add to my toolbox, and so thusly have done so, and am very excited to be able to share it with you all. So, if those are things that you are interested in, if you want to get that special summer pricing, if you want to get that special introductory pricing on that Reiki, please let me know. We can put you in the schedule. If you want to, you can go ahead and check out redesignyourlifeforever.com/contact us, and that is where my live calendar is, where you can see all of my available times that I have, that you can make an appointment for any one of those things. And if you don't find a time that suits your needs, you can always message me and let me know, and we will work with you. Alright, my lovelies, I would love to hear what you think about this topic, the placebo versus the nocebo. And if it's something that you want support on, if you're really ready to rewrite that shit, if you're going, oh my god, that's totally me, I don't want to be that way. Girl, or bro, I hear you. I really do. It's not fun. It's not fun to realize that most of the time this thing in here is the thing between us and whatever it is that we're striving for, that we're trying to succeed at. So often, it's what's been in here, that's been programmed in here, that's keeping success and happiness and all of these things at bay. So if you're looking for that support, if you're looking for that clarity, come and hit me up for that free session. It is absolutely, again, 100% free, no gimmicks, because guess what? Nobody likes gimmicks, me least of all. So, come and check it out. Check out Redesign Your Life Forever. Come and follow us on YouTube. Come and follow us on Instagram. We are blowing up like crazy, so make sure you stay tuned for all of the awesome tools and services that are going to be coming your way. Alright, my loves, it has been a pleasure as always. Thank you for joining me for Wisdom Wednesdays. If you have any questions or if you'd like particular topics for me to cover, you can always message me here on Facebook. Alright, my loves, I love you so much. I will see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful 4th of July, everybody in America. Oh, and happy Canada Day. Sorry I missed that. Happy Canada Day for all of my Canadian friends. I love you guys. And I will see you after the weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you soon. I love you all. Mwah.